Hello, that's going to be a quick, flexible input-output walkthrough with just a warning light and a couple of hints how to troubleshoot things, etc. That's all based on the latest firmware. There were a couple of minor usability improvements, so you probably want the version from at least today, which is December 17th, 2017. Let's see how that works. So we'll start with the latest bundle. I'll start the console and I will erase the chip just to start from scratch. We now have the checkbox for older boards. Those are the first generation, the C boards. Flashing seems to be working. Done. Perfect. We'll now program the firmware. The default settings now have the formula for the warning light, but not the pin. So the defaults are slightly more helpful these days. Still need that final little change to actually have everything up and running. Okay, we now have the firmware. There was that blink, meaning that the port is now available. We can now connect the console. So let's do that. Console comes up. There is nothing here. We have that info button here, so let's hit that. That's what we see by default these days. There's the expression, which refers to the FSIO setting number 1, but it's not assigned an output pin. Because it's not assigned the output pin, all the functionality would actually be disabled. So the first command we need to do is we need to assign a pin, and that's the expected output here, something along these lines. Another useful thing is to do the debugging, set up the debugging mode to have the output value visible. We do that with that magic set debug mode 23 command. It's more user-friendly in Tuner Studio. I'll show you that in a second. So we now have this debug mode, and we need to do the writeconfig. We have a button here. Seems like flash successful. Theoretically, the debug mode should be available for this horrible menu somewhere here. I really don't like that part. Tuner Studio is obviously much better. So we have everything set. That was set by default. That's the thing we've done. That's another thing we've done. We've just clicked that button. So I'll close the console, reset the ECU, and open the console again. Now that the value is there, let's see how that goes. So we've connected again. We will hit the command. Yep, the value is there. Let's go to the gauges. That's the default layout. Let's change it a little bit. We don't want to see this. We want to see that. And now we want to see the debug outputs. Like for instance this one, F1 and F2. So you see how F1, let's make them bigger. Okay, let's change them again. F1, F2. This one shows 0 in this debugging mode, meaning that the first output is a 0 value. The second one shows nothing, shows not a value, not applicable. That's because we don't have the output, so the second channel is not active. Anyway, our setting was turn it on above 5000 RPM, so let's put it into the 5000 RPM situation. So we'll enable self-stimulation. We see the RPMs. The value is still 0, and now let's do a higher RPM. Okay, so suddenly the moment we've got the high RPM, this output signal is at 1, which makes me think that if we had a real device plugged in, we would hopefully see the warning light or the VVT